Hi guys, and welcome to prediction week 3, bit of a different angle this weekend. We start with the lunchtime kickoff, Wolves versus Manchester City at 12:30. Wolves haven't done too bad, for their first time in the Premier League for maybe 4 or 5 years. But they're going up against, probably the best team in the Premier League at the moment. It is at the Molineux, but I can't see any more than Manchester City absolutely destroying them, to be fair. So I'm going to go Wolves 1, Manchester City 3. I can't see many teams doing Manchester City this year, to be fair to you, but we'll have to see. We now go to the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We have Southampton versus Leicester. This could actually turn out to be quite a good game, actually. I think it's going to be tight. I don't think there'll be a lot of goals in it, but I think it's going to be tight. I think there'll be a lot of flying tackles going into this game. And for that, I'm going to go Southampton 1, Leicester 1. We then have Arsenal versus West Ham. I've seen too many tweets all week saying that Arsenal are going to score at least 4, maybe even 5, 6. I hate when people try to be overconfident like that. If anything, it's really disrespectful to West Ham as well. West Ham aren't actually a bad side. They've come up, against Liverpool in their first game of the season. Okay, they did have a big bad loss last week. But I do think that they'll make it tough for Arsenal. It is a derby, if you like. It's the return of Jack Wilshere and Perez. So they'll want to put a shift in as well. So it's not going to be as easy as some Arsenal fans think. I do think Arsenal will win, but I don't think they're gonna walk away with it. I think they're going to nick it. Actually, I'm going to go Arsenal 1, West Ham 0. I think this is going to be a really, really tough game, but I do think Arsenal will nick it. Too many people being overconfident with it, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But 1-0 for me. We then have Bournemouth versus Everton. Again, I'm going to go for a really tight, tough game in this one. Not a lot of goals. So I'm going to go for Bournemouth 1, Everton 1. Huddersfield versus Cardiff. Huddersfield's had a horrible start to the Premier League. I mean, I know Arsenal had Manchester City and Chelsea, and they've had vice versa, Chelsea and Man City. But, Arsenal, you'd probably expect would be able to cope with it. I do think Arsenal were a little bit unlucky against Chelsea last week as well. But Huddersfield, it's a horrible start to the Premier League. Going up against Chelsea and then going up against Manchester City, two of the worst team, one of the worst starts I suppose you could ask for. Cardiff, I don't think they'll be, they won't be as hard as Chelsea and Manchester City. So I do think that Huddersfield can start getting some points on the board this weekend. I'm going to go Huddersfield 1, Cardiff 1. At 5:30, we have Liverpool versus Brighton. Again, Brighton will make it a little bit tough for them, but you can't see anything more than Liverpool win at Anfield, and I think they'll win quite comfortably. I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Brighton 0. We now go to the Sunday kickoffs, and we have Watford versus Crystal Palace at 1:30. Again, a very, very tight, tough game. I think probably two teams that could probably be fighting for relegation this year. Usually I talk about vital 3 points in these kind of games. It is very early in the season, but you do like to get off to a very good start. But I'm going to go for a tight draw in this one. Again, I'm going to go for Watford 1, Palace 1. At 4 o'clock, we have two 4 o'clock kickoffs. The first one is Fulham versus Burnley. Again, two teams that could be, maybe Fulham will be fighting for relegation. I don't think Burnley will probably be where they were last season. I think they'll probably be maybe 12, 13, something like that. Maybe looking at winning a League Cup or, getting to at least the quarterfinals of a League Cup or, FA Cup, trying to capitalise on last season. As for the game, again, I think it's going to be quite a tough game. We're going to go Fulham 1, Burnley 1. The other 4 o'clock kickoff is Newcastle versus Chelsea. I do think that Newcastle will make it quite difficult for Chelsea being at home. But again, I think the clash will come into play, and I think that Chelsea will nick it. I'm going to go Newcastle 1, Chelsea 2. And then the Monday night football, we have Manchester United versus Tottenham at 8 o'clock. I don't think that Tottenham's played their best this season against Newcastle, and can't remember. Was it Fulham last week as well? Yeah, they haven't played their best, but they're getting points on the board. Manchester United were dreadful last week against Brighton. I didn't think they played their best against Leicester either, to be fair to you. But we both know that both teams are going to raise the game for this one. It is at Old Trafford, and again, I'm going to go for a very, very tight, tough draw. I'm going to go Manchester United 1, Spurs 1. So that's been my predictions for this weekend, guys, and I will see you next week for next week's predictions. Thank you for watching, guys.